Gather round, everyone, and hear again the tale of Drakfu. Welcome back. Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to Netherstorm. So, we actually ended on us being able to complete, or even more quests that we needed to get done in Netherstorm. So that's pretty much, I think, what we're going to do this time around, too. And first, let's talk to Veronia. Arranging for your flight wasn't cheap. Let's hope you have what it takes to get the job done. So, behind enemy lines, all arrangements have been made to take you where our spies are hiding. Just come see me when you're ready, and we'll get you on your way.
Farewell.
Okay, so go ahead and talk to her, and we need to get off our mount. So, I've arranged flight for your flight to Manaforge Koru. Are you ready, Drakfu? You'll be dropped off behind enemy lines, so make sure you bring everything you need.
Remember the
Yes, let's go ahead and go, because I have a flying mount, so that's not necessarily the biggest of issues. And so that's pretty much, like, we already took care of one Manaforge out here. That's pretty much the storyline that we're going for in Netherstorm, is we're taking care of the Blood Elves, but we're also taking care of demon camps throughout all of it. And we'll also be dealing a little bit with Ethereals, but most of the time, we're going to be dealing with these Manaforges and trying to shut them down so that Kael'thas's efforts in the Netherstorm are halted. Because this is where he's at. He's actually trying to gather up mana to be able to help feed his people. Because at this time in the Burning Crusade, the Sunwell wasn't working. It was quite dead, and so at that point he needed to find other ways to satiate the hunger that all of his Blood Elves were feeling. So here is Kaleidus Bright Dawn.
The dark times will pass.
Welcome, monk. Try not to give opposition away. We wouldn't last long if Kael's cronies sniff us out. So a convincing disguise. Infiltrating the ranks of Kael's army will not be an easy task. With my knowledge of illusionary magic, I could pass you off as one of Kael's followers, but there are certain details in their uniforms I could not replicate. Bring me a set of their robes, and a pair of their gloves, and a Sun Fury Guardsman medallion. This will make the result of my magic much more convincing.
Remember the Sunwell.
Okay, and so with that, we actually have a bunch of brand spanking new quests to be able to do. I know this is so freaking early, but we need to get this stuff done anyway. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick questing break. Go! Okay, we at least got two of the quests done that we needed. Unfortunately, now we're to the point where we're going to various parts of Netherstorm, so a lot of this is just going to be errand boy stuff. But let's go ahead and turn these quests in. First of all, with Chief Engineer Trap. You have the power from those elementals yet? Oh, don't hurry on anything. It's just my life and career on the line. That's more like it. All right, now I think we're in business. Let me dump this stuff into the thingamajig here, and I'm sure it'll spit out a fully functioning phase engine core. Oh yeah, I guess I ought to reward you for saving my neck, eh? Alright, so we've got that turned in. And I think the next one is going to be, yeah, it's Papa Wheeler. Yo! Back with the tech so soon? You better not be pulling my leg here, monk. The success of my X-52 project out here depends upon us getting us that stuff ASAP. ASAP. Ethereal suckers. Thanks for getting us these parts, Drakfu. I bet we could just hook these babies right up inside the rocket. I wonder what they'll do. Should be fun finding out. Let me see if I can dig up some pocket change to throw your way. There you go. So now we have two more quests in a scrap of the Legion. The Burning Legion has moved in on our claim at the scrap field down the path across the bridge to the east. This could be a huge problem for us. With the Legion at the Arklon ruins and now there, it's starting to look bad for us. And the rocket project here at Area 52. Drakfu, I need you to go out there and deal with those demons. I'd do it, but I'm a lover, not a fighter. Yep, this is going to be trouble. I can feel it. Okay, so we actually need to take care of Ganarg Engineers and Moarg Dudesmiths. So That's going to be an interesting one. Help Mama Wheeler. Say, Drakfu, I was wondering if you could do me another favor. My partner out in the field could probably use a hand. I was wondering if you could go check in on her. I'm sure that Mama Wheeler will appreciate the help. Just don't mind the sharp tongue. She's trying to look out for our interests in the East. You'll find her at Ecodome Mid-Realm at the Mid-Realm Post. So, we've been hearing a lot about Ecodomes. These are actually the Ecodomes. These big bubbles that you can see off in the distance. So, eventually we were going to have to go to these areas anyway. So, let's go ahead and start taking care of this stuff. Oh, and we actually do have a quest out here. I wonder if we can actually take it. Yes, I have quest completist on. Sorry, guys, but I want to make sure that I can get you guys these quests in a timely manner. Oh, could this be it? Aha! Look at that. But we can't really do the quest yet. Doesn't look like. We probably need to, we probably need to get either rep or build up to that point. So, with that, let's see. We have two potential places that we can go. We can go back to Manaforge Koru, which I probably would recommend, or we can go out to Ecodome Mid-Realm. Let's actually go ahead and do that and get the quests done over at Manaforge Koru. So, another questing break. Go! Alright, we are back. We've gotten our necessary elements for a disguise. But first, we need to use Archmage Vargoth's staff to talk to Archmage Vargoth. If I am to be free of this tower's curse, I must have the sigil. So we found the sigil of Crassus as well. It is a magnificent... It is as magnificent... I can't talk this morning. Happy Friday, everybody, by the way. It is as magnificent as I remembered. Can you not feel the power radiating from it? I'll take your word for it, buddy. Of course, there is much more to be done, but you have my deepest thanks for restoring the sigil to me. And with that, we actually do get a belt that we don't need, because that's how it goes for us. Crassus's Compendium. The Kirin'Var sent one other of Crassus's possessions with our expedition. It was his spellbook, called Crassus's Compendium, containing all the spells he mastered. It lent us a much-needed advantage in the war. Before Kael'thas and his forces laid siege to Kirin'Var, the compendium had been stolen from me by a rebellious apprentice intent on studying necromancy. The apprentice and his followers divided and studied the text in secret, locking themselves inside their houses in the southern part of town. Okay, so this is actually something that will take us over to a little alliance encampment that we can eventually start getting quests in. But first, let's take care of Manaforge Koru.
Anaria Shola.
Have you obtained the outfit pieces I asked of you? Yes, I did. Excellent. When I'm through with you, you will be able to slip among the Sung Fury ranks unnoticed. Alright, information gathering. I prepared a uniform with the pieces you obtained. It is magically enhanced to complete the illusion. We spotted Commander Dawnforge going in to meet Arcanist Ardonis a few minutes ago. He had a full retinue of guards with him, so whatever they're discussing is bound to be incredibly important. See if you can catch any of it. Oh, I almost forgot. You'll want to stay away from the arcane golems patrolling the Mana Forge. They will see right through the illusion.
Farewell.
Okay, so this is actually one of the more interesting quests to try and do. Thankfully, while I was on the questing break, I took care of the arcane golems that they're talking about. So we don't necessarily need to worry about them now. Let's go ahead and put on the disguise. At least I hope not. Yay! I'm Drakfu! I'm a blood elf! Hail Kael'thas and all that! And I can go ahead and roll in this form as well, so this will be faster. Oh, crap. Oh, there he is. Okay. So we need to listen in on the Commander and Arcanist's conversation. We need you to send reinforcements to Manaforge Duro, Ardonis. This is not a request, it's an order. You cannot be serious. We are severely understaffed and can barely keep this Manaforge functional. You will do as ordered. Manaforge Duro has come under heavy attack by mana creatures, and the situation is out of control. Failure to comply will not be tolerated. Ah, Pathalion. Indeed, it is not a request. My lord! Duro will be reinforced. Ultris was a complete disaster. I will not have that mistake repeated. We've had too many setbacks along the way. Hellfire Citadel, Fallen Sky Ridge, Firewing Point. Prince Kael'thas will tolerate no further delays. I will tolerate nothing other than complete success. I am returning to Tempest Keep. See to it that I do not have a reason to return. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Righto. Oh, so that was interesting. See to it, Ardonis. So now that we've gathered the information that we needed, it's time for us to head back and give that information. See, it's these quests that, like, we could do, because they don't take a whole lot of effort, and they actually have a lot of lore to them, but there are a lot of the collecting quests I know a lot of people are annoyed by that I just don't get them done and then go to the next step. So here we are, Kaladas.
The eternal sun guides us.
How goes the eavesdropping, Drakfu? You'd best hurry. I'm getting antsy here. Manaforge Duro is in trouble? I'm sure Thelodian would love to hear the news. Let's wrap up the job here first. Shutting down Manaforge Koru. Thelodian told us of your success in disabling Manaforge Binar. He expects a repeat performance here and asked to keep an eye out for anyone using a crystal to access the console inside. Overseer Ceylana holds the access crystal. We're sure of it. Go back in there and finish the operation. No need to be stealthy anymore. Get the crystal, begin the shutdown, kill the technicians trying to stop you, and get out. Hurry, it won't be long before Kale's lapdogs sniff us out.
Keep your wits
Okay,
about
so this is actually going to be stupidly easy. And since I actually didn't do Binar before, since it was part of the questing break, I might as well do this for you guys right now. This is the quest that we will get for all Mana Forges. We have to take care of the Overseer, which we don't have to worry about this disguise anymore. Hi! I'll take that, thank you. And all you have to do is just access the, actually, I probably better read this because we didn't read it before. As you approach the console, the access crystal you have with you begins humming softly and pulsing with light. A rush of information flows into your mind, and all of a sudden you're aware of the Manaforge's energy production levels, its stability, and its output to different pipelines. The console awaits your command. Begin emergency shutdown. So at this point, you have a 2-minute window where Blood Elves will constantly hit this console to see if they can stop the shutdown sequence. All you have to do, kind of like that, all you have to do is stop them, and mission ain't failed. Oh, good. The Arcane Annihilator's here. That's going to be even better. And they will enter in from all types of directions, so you basically just have to wait here for 2 minutes while Blood Elves try to come in and shut down the shutdown sequence. I promise, nothing goes boom. It's just, basically, we make this console inoperable, and at that point, they can't use the Mana Forge anymore. But that was actually a nice reference to everything that we've been doing since then. We thwarted Hellfire Citadel. We thwarted Falling Sky Ridge, which, if you remember, Pathalion the Calculator was part of as well. Firewing Point, where he was creating mana bombs. All of that was, we were dealing with Pathalion the Calculator. Who, fun fact, is the end boss of the Mechanar, one of the Tempest Keep instances. So we will see him again. I promise you that. In fact, tanks love him, or at least they did back in Burning Crusade, because he gave the Sun Eater, which was probably the best heroic tanking weapon you could have gotten before raiding content. So if you were doing the heroics, you were probably doing heroic Mechanar for your tanks, so you could get the Sun Eater. And it was a really helpful sword. I actually had it on my warrior for a time. Alright, we have 30 seconds before this thing shuts down. Do we have another Blood Elf coming? One behind me? No. Nobody's coming. 10 seconds! You have 10 seconds to stop this, man. Hope you do. I hope you do. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Nobody's stopping it. There we go. Manaforge Koru has been shut down. So that's yet another Manaforge that they cannot utilize in the Netherstorm. Stupid guardsmen. Alright, let's head back over to Kaladas Bright Dawn and let him know this is where we're at. Hey, Commanders! Have you completed your task yet, Drakfu? Oh, I'm sorry, have you completed it? We heard all the commotion and we're just about to leave. Glad to see you didn't take too bad of a beating. So we do get money for that. Return to Thelodian. It would be best if this information got back to Thelodian as soon as possible. I'll stay here and cover our tracks. It wouldn't do us much good to have Kael'thas find out that we were snooping around here. Secret information is always better if your enemy doesn't know you have it.
We will have justice.
Alright, so now we need to head back to Area 52 to let Thelodian know about Metaforge Duro. But before we actually do that, we're going to go ahead and head over to Kirin'Var village, which is actually where Vargoth was talking about. So you can see there's a little alliance, a human encampment right next to Metaforge Kuro. This is the village of Kirin'Var, where a bunch of Kirin Tor, as well as alliance... I was going to say alliance soldiers were encamped, and this is actually the tower that Archmage Vargoth is imprisoned in. So, as you can see, we actually can't go into it because the curse is there, but that's okay, we'll make that work. First of all, we have a bunch of quests here. So one is from Lieutenant Sorcerer Moran. Kael'thas' assault on Kirin'Var began with thundering noise and a bright flash of light in the office quarters to the northwest. The destruction there was the most severe, and after the withdrawal of the Blood Elves, a strange thing began to happen. Beings of pure mana streaming into the village began streaming into the village from all over the area. For now, we're containing them as we can, but with more information about the weapon Kael'thas used, I hope to cut off the flow of mana creatures entirely. Okay, so we need to search the mana creature infested area of Kirin'Var village for a mana bomb fragment, because a mana bomb went off here. Mana bombs are a thing. They are pretty much the nuke of Warcraft. Then we also have Custodian Dieworth, or Dieworth. Kirin'Var survived 20 long years and countless orc assaults, but it could not withstand the forces of Kael'thas. A man who once called himself a member of the Kirin Tor murdered all of us, save one. Archmage Vargoth survived the attack, so Kael'thas imprisoned him within the Violet Tower, warding it with a magic that forbids the passageway, or the passage of any of the Kirin Tor. And we have 3 quests with him, a fate worse than death. So technically these are ghosts. This is the ghosts of Kirin'Var village after the mana bomb hit. After the Blood Elves leveled Kirin'Var village, they started the construction of a large building to the northwest. Without the expertise of the Archmage, we can't say for certain what's going on there. One thing is clear, though. The Blood Elf activities have unleashed a tide of ravenous mana elementals on the village. They seem drawn to the ruins of Wizard Row, wreaking further destruction. We cannot permit this to continue. Okay. And we also have the Sun Fury Garrison. After Prince Kael'thas' forces destroyed the village and imprisoned the Archmage in the Violet Tower, they withdrew to Sun Fury Hold to the northeast. The very men who destroyed our village and slew our fellows toast their amazing victory while we are helpless to avenge the fallen. We must not allow their crimes to go unanswered. Be the instrument of our vengeance, Drakfu. Go to Sun Fury Hold and claim the lives of those responsible for this crime. Okay, and then we also have Malevolent Remains. Most of the spirits in the village are little more than pale remnants of Kirin Tor mages. They retain no knowledge of their former selves and wander the ruins in blind anger. It wasn't always like this, though. In the immediate aftermath of the attack, the spirits were restless, but not spiteful. With the passage of time, they've only grown more aggressive. I dare not venture into the southern part of the village, for they will not spare even me. Quiet them and let us hope it will purge their anger. Okay, so we need to take care of a lot of spirits, a lot of archers, a lot of mana seekers and mage slayers. Yep, we're going to be doing this for quite a while. So, here we go. Questing break, go! Okay. Quick break in here quick break in between the break, because we just barely found an item which gives a quest, Conjurer Luminrath. The cloak, undoubtedly of high elven craftsmanship, is richly tailored, even by the standards of the Kirin Tor. The symbols and characters sewn into the cloak's fabric hold no meaning for you, but clearly imbue the garment with magical properties. Perhaps this object binds the spirit of its former owner to this plane of existence. If so, returning it to the dresser in Conjurer Lumenrath's quarters might break the spirit's link to this world, allowing it to rest. So we actually did kill off, I believe, Conjurer Lumenrath, but I might be wrong. Just want to make sure. Yeah, Severed Spirit. We might have killed Lumenrath, but I am not sure where we killed him. Okay, so here we go. Back into the questing break. Go! And in between the break again, we caught another item from Colian Frostweaver. Looking at the hat, you find yourself asking if any Kirin'Var mage would own such headgear. Probably not. Judging from the hat's wear, it seems the gnome wouldn't go anywhere without it. You try on the hat momentarily, discovering no magical properties beyond a faint urge to dance. The treasured possession might be the source of the dead mage's bond to the village. Placing the hat in the footlocker in Colian's quarters might free his spirit. Okay, so here we go. Questing break again. Go! And here we are again, people. There are actually 4 quests in this area that you can get. This now is with Abjurist Belmara. This worn, sturdy tome is no spellbook, as you might expect a Kirin'Var mage to carry. The pages of the volume are covered with hand-copied stories, accompanied by colorful illustrations. The tome seems to be far older than its former owner, and may have been a family heirloom. A powerful tie to the book may have been the last thread tying Belmara's spirit to the ruins of Kirin'Var. Returning it to its proper place on the bookshelf in her quarters might help appease her restless spirit. So we have that. There's actually one more to get. I'm not sure where it is, but we will cut into the break as soon as we find it. Here we go again. Go! All right, we found the last one, which is Battle Mage Drak. So let's go ahead and look into that one. The sword is of exceptional quality, finely crafted and perfectly balanced for a battle mage. The seal of the Kirin'Var and the name Drak are engraved into the weapon's pommel. Turning the weapon over in your hands, you notice a sense of wrongness radiating from the metal, as if the item is torn between 2 worlds. Could this be the item anchoring Battle Mage Drak's spirit to this world? Perhaps returning it to its proper place can break the bond, freeing Drak's spirit to rest at last. So we have 4 separate items that we actually need to return to their proper places to properly give these spirits rest. But before we get back into the questing break, I actually did find some other quests that we need to take on in Kirin'Var. Gee, it's almost like we're going to run out of quest log space here. So we have Apprentice Andrathan. Let's go ahead and talk to him. The apprentice occasionally looks over his shoulder, apparently responding to sounds that you can't hear. Good day, Drakfu. Pardon me if I seem distracted, but I'm in the middle of a job for Farmer Nathan. I want to have all of his horses shoed by the time he returns from the town hall. What can I help you with? So, indispensable tools. You haven't seen a heavy smithing hammer lying around by chance, have you? I brought it out here with me to finish the shoes for some of old man Amerlin's horses, but I can't find it. I've searched the barn no less than half a dozen times, and I just can't seem to find it. Maybe one of the other apprentices retrieved it and took it back to the smithy. Would you be willing to go down there and take a look? The workshop is just to the southeast of the tower in the town square. Okay. And then Thadel. Or Thadel, I don't know how it says. Needs more cowbell. Reference to Saturday Night Live, people. We need more cowbell. Where, oh where, has my Bessie gone? After the attack, I searched the fields and the chapel yard for her, but she was nowhere to be seen. Yes, I know, my Christopher Walken sucks, but we're gonna go with it because, you know, this is a Christopher Walken reference. All I have left of her is this old cowbell. She usually comes running when she hears it, but these feeble old bones probably couldn't shake it hard enough. I'll loan you Bessie's bell if you're willing to go out to the fields and ring it as hard as you can. Perhaps all Bessie's waiting for is a little more cowbell. Not a word, people. I know, I suck. I can't do Christopher Walken, but it's a reference to Christopher Walken. We might as well do it. Do it. All right. So now we have a bunch more quests to be able to take care of. So back to the questing break. Go! Okay, we are back from the questing break yet again. This is one of those things that's going to be weird to edit on the video, but I'm okay with it. We found Bessie, and I believe she's actually going to give us an escort quest, so Here we go. The cow looks at you distrustfully, but stands its ground. Removing the bell from your pack, you ring it a couple of times and show it to Bessie, who seems to recognize it. The cow allows the bell's cord to be fastened around her neck and looks at you expectantly. So when the cows come home, realizing that Bessie is still staring at you, you gesture toward the Dell's location. You find yourself promising to protect the cow on her way home. Upon finishing your sentence, you realize there's no possible way the cow could understand anything you've said. Shrugging your shoulders, you prepare to guard the bovine on her way back to the Dell. Let's go ahead and do this escort quest, but we're going to speed things up. We're going to get back into the questing break. So here we go! Okay, it took some doing, but we finally got all the quests out here done. I have a feeling we're going to get given more, but let's go ahead and turn these in. So starting with Lieutenant Sorcerer Moran. Did you find the remains of the weapon Kael'thas used against the village? Yes, we did. We found a mana bomb fragment. Mana bomb? Moran turns the fragment over in his hands. It's nigh unthinkable. Even the best minds in Dalaran couldn't have conceived of a weapon like this. The sheer magnitude of the disturbance must have torn a rift in the nether, giving these creatures access to our lands. Alright, we are getting attacked, so... Okay, let's talk to you again. Potential energy source. We are not the only ones battling the influx of the mana beings. The Blood Elves too were troubled by them, but I'm not sure why. Whatever they're involved in over there, they don't seem to be stopping. Instead, I've seen them employ a variety of methods to kill the creatures. The most effective involves magical defenses fueled by some sort of concentrated energy. Capture some of these energy sources and bring them to me. Don't hesitate to stymie the elves if an opportunity presents itself. Okay, and then we also have to turn in stuff to Dworth. We have lots of stuff to turn into him. So, fate worse than death. The custodian looks dismayed. I can already see the next wave coming over the horizon. Culling them will work for the time being, but more permanent measures are needed. So we are going to get a pair of boots out of that, so that's awesome. Let's go ahead and put those on. Yay! It's got a little bit more agility. Next one on the list, the Sun Fury Garrison. What you've done this day can never bring back the fallen, but perhaps it helps soothe their spirits. Although, truth be told, no amount of blood can quench my anger over the actions of Kael'thas. Okay, down with Dalus. I'll never forget the Blood Elf who led the attack. Or, actually, this is a brand new quest. I'll never forget the Blood Elf who led the attack. He wore a tabard with a device I've never seen before, over top of crimson armor. He was ferocious and merciless, leading from the front where most other Blood Elf officers would never be seen. He was responsible for the deaths of many Kirin'Var mages that day, but he didn't linger long at Sunder Fury Hold. Kael'thas has ordered him to Manaforge Duro to aid in their attempt to control the area. Find him, Drakfu, and silence his bow for good. Okay, so we gotta take care of that. And we also have Malevolent Remains. Custodian Dworth shakes his head gently. It is not what they deserved, but it is the best we can do. The Annals of Kirin'Var. Silencing the spirits has not bled them of their aggression, as we had hoped it would. The malevolent spirits you subdued have re-emerged in the streets of the town. We must uncover what is causing this to happen. The destruction of Kirin'Var was just the beginning, or else the spirits would have been quieted by now. The town hall is in the southern section of Kirin'Var. The town hall in the southern section of Kirin'Var maintained a logbook of all the residents. Last I heard, it was in the keeping of Battle Mage Dathric. Perhaps his spirit still has it. So this is actually what leads you into taking on these other quests, but we've already since taken them on, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Because you eventually will get a quest to take those spirits out, which will then give you those other 4 quests. But we came across them early, so I'm not too worried about that. Conjurer Luminwrath. We used to always comment that Lumenrath would wear that cloak with just about anything. To him, red went equally well with white, black, purple, blue, yellow, orange, and green. He would never wear the same robe 2 days in a row, but the cloak was always there. Okay, so we have that. Up next is Colian Frostweaver. The custodian smiles at the mention of Colian's name. You're absolutely right about the hat. He wore it all the time and wouldn't let it out of his sight. There were a couple of times when a fellow mage, who shall remain nameless, borrowed the hat and hid it as a prank. Needless to say, the threat of one of Colian's frostbolts changed his mind. I'm going to miss little Colian. He had quite a way with the elven women. I could see a gnome hitting on elven women. That actually would be hilarious to me. Abjuris Belmara. Oh, yes. I'd heard that Abjuris Belmara had an old book of stories, but I had no idea that she brought it with her to Outland. I'm certain that her spirit will rest easier knowing that you found it and returned it to her dwelling. Alright, and seriously, guys. Leave me be! Try to turn a quest here, for crying out loud! And then we have Battle Mage Dathric. You've done well, Drakfu. I can no longer sense any restlessness in Dathric's spirit. I would give much for the opportunity to speak with him one more time, but it is enough that he is finally at rest. Okay, so we have that. And what's funny is we actually haven't taken care of Crassus's Compendium just yet, but we'll take care of that in a second. Let's go ahead and turn these in with Apprentice Andrathon. The apprentice occasionally looks over his shoulder. Yeah, we already know this stuff. Indispensable tools. Did you have any luck finding my hammer? Thank goodness. Now I can get back to work. I know you think I'm crazy, working on the piece that will earn me journeyman status away from the forge proper, but I can't run the risk of the other apprentices copying my design. Master Smith Ronsis. At last, my journeyman project is complete. I can't wait to formally present it to Master Ronsis. The apprentice looks at you as you describe your experiences retrieving the hammer. They attacked you? All of them? By the light, they've gone mad. What are we to do, Drakfu? It grieves me to say so, but it may be necessary to kill Master Ronsis. It would leave me as the only smith in Kirin'Var, but I believe my training is sufficient to serve the town's needs. Alright, so we need to kill Ronsis now, which we've actually killed like twice while questing, so... Fidel, when the cows come home. Bessie, is that you? The farmer turns to you. Thank you for bringing back my Bessie, Drakfu. I couldn't live without her. Here's the boots to help with the process of whatever you're doing. Okay, no more Christopher Walken, I promise. It was just this one quest. We're done. I promise, people. Let's see. I think that's all of the quests that we can turn in. So let's go ahead and get these other quests taken care of, starting by going in here. So this is actually where we need to go to get the Crassus Compendium, or Crassus Compendium, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but I believe so. Yeah, so let's scale the tower. This is actually where Archmage Vargoth is residing, because he can't really get out of here. For the curse, because you can see we have the Curse of the Violet Tower, which decreases damage dealt by 50%. Oh, noes. What on earth are we going to do? Actually, no. The Annals or the Crassus Compendium is not here. So, we'll have to figure that stuff out while we're out on a questing break. So we're going to go ahead and get a second questing break done. Here we go! Okay, so here we are. We're back. We've taken care of all the stuff in the immediate area, so let's go ahead and keep on going. So we have the Annals of Kirin'Var taken care of. Were you able to find the registry? Custodian Deworth accepts the registry from you, leafing through the pages. It seems I was right. There is a pattern here. The most aggressive and dangerous ghosts coincide with the most powerful and highest-ranking Kirin'Var who resided in the village. The townspeople and tradesmen seem overlooked by comparison. What could this mean? So, searching for evidence. Whoever is behind the transformation of the spirits has been very deliberate in their actions, taking care to target the most powerful mages first. But why? The kind of magic required to influence the spirits of slain Kirin'Var mages must be very powerful. Why would a powerful mage go to all this trouble? I'm inclined to say this is another plot of Kael'thas's, designed to cause more misery here. If there are blood elves here, they're likely to be hiding in the houses across the covered bridge. Okay. Then potential energy source. Were you able to gather any of their energy sources? Yes. Moran gingerly hands over one of the containers. I don't believe I've seen anything like this before. There's certainly a lot of energy suspended in here, but it's in a raw form. We'll have to be careful with it, but I think we can find a way to adapt this to help ward off the mana creatures. So, building a perimeter. We are prepared to construct a perimeter around the village using the energy source taken from the Blood Elves. I can't guarantee that it will work, but we have to attempt it. Otherwise, mana creatures will surely come devouring the spirits of the fallen Kirin'Var. Use this device at the small runes around the perimeter of town to release the raw energy there. If I've woven the field correctly, we should start noticing a difference once you've used the device at each point. Okay, so we have another quest from them. We also have the apprentice here. Whatever. Master Smith Ronsis. Master Ronsis taught me everything I know about my trade. I will honor his memory by using my skills to serve the people of Kirin'Var. There you go. So we've turned that in with him. And I believe that actually starts up the next wave of quests. Do we have more stuff to do here? We do. Let's go ahead and take care of the runes while... I don't think we're going to do a questing break for this particularly. We'll just go ahead and take care of the runes. And then I think that'll actually finish up Kirin'Var Village. That'll be awesome. Boom! Activate the Kirin'Var rune. Alright, so here's the next rune. Activate that one. And finally, let's get the last Western rune activated. So these horrible mana creatures will stop attacking the Kirin'Var ghosts. And there it is. I knew there was one next to the remains of a house. I just can't remember which one. Boom! Okay, so we now have all of these done. Let's go ahead and turn this in. And actually, while we're there, we'll talk to Archmage Vargoth as well. See if he has the next step of his quest. Also,
Well met.
have you brought the book? Yes, we have. Archmage Vargoth's image seems to inspect the compendium. It's a little worse for the wear, but considering the treatment it's been through, it's a miracle all of it survived. Safeguard it, Drakfu. Without it, we stand little chance of being able to break the tower's ward. Okay, unlocking the compendium. While I'm glad to have most of Crassus's compendium back, it's useless without the heliotrope oculus. You see, Crassus was well aware of the sheer power of the spells recorded in the book, and took steps to safeguard them from prying eyes. Only a knowledgeable mage can use the oculus to unlock the compendium secrets. During Kael'thas's attack, one of his lieutenants, Spellreaver Marathel, looted it and took it to Sunfury Hold, northeast of the tower. No doubt she thought it a pretty little bauble. Okay, so we need to take care of that. The heliotrope oculus. Oh my gosh. The Oculus Rift? No. We don't have 150 bucks to spare. Okay, so let's go ahead and... Oh, we actually got another quest, Torching Sunfury Hold. Ridding Sunfury Hold of its garrison is not sufficient to keep the Blood Elves from reoccupying it. Kael'thas's followers are zealous and tenacious. Leaving them anything to use at Sunfury is effectively an invitation to return. No, it must all be destroyed. See to it that their tents and artillery burn to ashes. The Ghost's fists clench. Steel torches from the Sunfury Flamekeepers to accomplish your task, Drakfu. Okay, so we need to do that. But we also have this one done. Building a perimeter. Have you activated all the rooms? I'm eager to see if we can't improve upon the Blood Elf method here. Anything one of Kael'thas's men can do, real Kirin'Var can do better. But he's a former Kirin'Var, that doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to, Drakfu. Excellent work. Keep your fingers crossed, Drakfu. I'm going to activate the shield. Whoa! Oh my goodness! Did it work? No. That's actually it. So, yep, it did work. So there are no longer any mana fiends here, and they will... now, this is kind of like the earliest form of phasing, I believe, where now you don't have to worry about these mana fiends, at least in the immediate area. There will be a bubble protecting this village. That's kind of a cool concept. And actually, we've come upon that time yet again. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey as we continue questing in Netherstorm. When we get back on Monday, we will be continuing that task. Till then, we'll see you guys next time for more Tale of Drakfu.